Welcome to the world's first straight talk Solarcast. This is your go-to podcast for answers about solar. Brought to you by Solar Harmonics in Northern California, who invite their customers to own their energy by purchasing a solar panel system for their home, business, or farm. Each episode, we discuss questions facing people making the decision to go solar. The solutions to your questions are given to you straight by one of the leading experts in the solar industry, Jamie Duran, president of Solar Harmonics. Feel free to search our library for answers to questions that you're facing when considering solar. And now, here's Adam Duran, our host with the questions, and Jamie Duran, our solar expert with Straight Talk Solarcast.
Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Adam.
How's everything in the land of solar this week?
Well, it's always exciting. The sun is finally coming out here in California. It's been non-existent for like 6-7 weeks. And so lots of people are calling up and saying, my electricity bill is out of control. And what are you going to do about it? I said, well, yeah, one day I might have control of the sun, but not this day. So, I just said, we need access to the sun, and it was both the combination of it being freezing cold, at least for California, compared to other parts of the state or even other parts of the country or the world. It was pretty cold for Californians, and then them running space heaters and heat pumps.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone with a heat pump was going, oh my God, that is a lot of money. And I need a lot more solar. So that part's not stopping. And lots of people adding battery storage because PG&E turned off the power on Christmas Day for many, many thousands of San Franciscans. With the average home there, $2 to $3 million. And so they're not so excited about that. So we have lots of those kind of things. And we're going to be adding lots of batteries this year for people because they don't want to deal with that. And we've talked already about it. The San Francisco city is looking strongly at creating their own utility and cutting PG&E out completely. So we'll see how that all rolls around.
I see those things like they come up and then you just don't hear about them again.
It's not as easy as it sounds. So there's a lot to consider. We talked about that last week, all the outlying areas and things like that. But I'm guessing it could be possible for San Francisco. I would expect they'd have to pay 3 to 4 times what they're paying now to PG&E. But a lot of times, they will do that just to get PG&E out of their hair. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But today I wanted to talk about, I remember, you used to be a renter long time ago.
Yep.
And do you remember having an electricity bill when you had your own rental?
I probably did.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
wow. Great question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, and that's good news. But yeah, most renters do have their own meter, and they're, a lot of times it's not a huge problem, but they really have a hard time going solar because they don't have a roof. And, that's what do they do? But lots of renters are seeing really, really high electricity bills as well. And, if you're renting or if it's a condo or a townhome, you don't really have a lot of space for solar panels. And so one of the things that has been rolling around for at least a decade now is that, could you just put solar panels on your balcony and, plug the other side of the solar panel into your wall, and you're kind of making your own power. Because traditionally apartments, townhomes, condos don't really use that much power. And so in any event, it looks like it's coming together, and it might actually be potentially happening. And this is through SB 868 in California from California Senator Scott Wiener. You may remember him from lots of his other bills, but this one's pretty interesting because right now, if I'm a renter and I want to go solar, I still have to get a permit. I still have to get it connected to the grid. And that's pretty onerous, especially, 3 or 4 panels. It's not really, the fixed costs of going solar are so expensive that it doesn't really make a lot of financial sense. So most people don't. But now it looks like this bill is intended to get rid of the requirement for getting a permit and then getting interconnection to the grid. And so it would just be, just like I said, you have these 3 or 4 panels that are on your balcony, and if they're producing power, you plug them into the wall, and it reduces your electricity costs. So we'll see how it goes. I imagine, there's reasons why we have to get a permit and we have to get interconnected.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions now. What?
Yeah.
I don't want to come home to a burned down apartment building because Chet thought it would be cool to plug in some panels and leave.
Well,
no,
that's question number 1.
Okay, I got more.
Yeah, well, 110 outlets are not, they're not really set up to receive power, and so it's going to be interesting to see how that is worked out. Generally those outlets are made to go one direction. They are supposed to deliver power, not receive power. So that part has to be solved. But there's certainly a demand. There's, according to this article I'm reading, 44% of California residents are renters. So if California has 30 million residents, how many people is that, Adam?
I don't know.
Nearly half. So let's just call it 14 million people are renting. And the average electricity bill is $37.50 a month.
What?
But can go up to... Yeah.
Where? What? According to who?
For apartment people. And
wow. Maybe. Yeah. I guess that's why I didn't remember how much I paid.
Well, I mean, and keep in mind, a lot of apartments are on care programs, which is the discount for, if they're low income, then if you're low income, you qualify. And but they can, the typical, which blows me away, it's anywhere, it can be $150 to $350 a month for a typical townhouse. Depends on square footage and how you're running Bitcoin mining or whatever else, but it's a lot. And so with no end in sight, because they still have the same increases that any other homeowner or business has, but they have really no way to offset it and no access. You needed it interconnected and final inspected to be eligible for the tax credit. And so they're not eligible for the tax credit with that. So, but if your bill was pretty low and you put up 4 or 5 solar panels, that could probably drop it in half. So
really,
well, it depends. I would say it depends on how much power you're using, but I would not be opposed to it. And especially right now, people are just kind of taking standard solar panels or ones that they're finding at a recycling bin or something like that, and just kind of lining them up, and they look pretty hideous. And
yes,
but you are 1,000% correct. The fire hazard is what is most concerning, and how that's going to be addressed. But especially if there's no permit involved, and as you're buying it off of wherever, or and it's just, hey, here you go. Here's your solar, and no installer needed, no licensed electrician. It's just put them up and hope for the best. So I'm guessing there's going to be companies that come in that can actually just put that together, and that's going to be pretty exciting. So we will see how it goes, but I'm excited to see at least there's some progress, because lots of renters who do even start with a home, they rarely look at how much an electricity bill is before they move in. And they even more rarely look at, it has solar. That's awesome. That's all we need. That's case closed. They don't ask all the questions of, is this a lease system? What's my payoff? Am I inheriting someone's $400 bill and all that kind of stuff? So, they just, he loved this house. And what is this bill? How do I get out of it? It's 25 years. Oh my God, come here and get it. Get it off my roof. Well, that's another $20,000. So yeah, all these kind of things that they definitely need some education on. And so that's what we're trying to do with this podcast, is educate people on, if they are in an apartment, there's something to look forward to, because there might be some attractive looking solutions where it's, instead of taking the balcony part and maybe kind of fencing that off and making that part a solar panel instead of just laying them down on top of the ficus plant or something. and then
How can I suggest something? Can I suggest something?
Yeah.
I mean, most of the apartments or condos, they have an HOA. So putting a bunch of panels on the roof and then using that to offset the PG&E bills for the HOA potentially could offset some of that HOA fee, or at least keep that HOA fee within the community instead of just going off into PG&E.
Could not agree more. And that's definitely, that offsets a lot of the common area. But, to help someone directly, if they're spending, $50 a month and their income is $400 a month, if you can reduce it to zero or even, $10 a month, that's nothing to sneeze at, because that's, over a year, that's all the savings is tax-free as well. So it gives them more spendable income. So
you're a big Scott Wiener supporter. That's what I'm hearing. At least he's saying something about this.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it doesn't go anywhere, but
to
maybe
renters
someone's doing something. So I do like that, and I'm not a big fan of all the. I don't even need to know what his sexual orientation is, but
what?
Yeah, I know.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows what it is, but he sure likes to advertise that part. So I'm not. I know. I don't know about any of the other politicians, nor do I have any interest in knowing. Anywho, but he sure advertises that part a lot. So we'll wrap it up there, Adam.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good job, Jamie. We know who you're voting for next time. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Not at all.
At least somebody is mentioning something positive for solar. Boy.
True.
Every week, gloom and doom.
It's not. It's good news. I told you, the sun is shining, Adam.
Hey, sun is shining. Systems are producing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Everyone's loving it.
All right. Thank you very much for taking some time out of your week to learn a little bit more about solar. Jamie's been doing his podcast for years and years and years, probably the longest running solar podcast in the world. So thank you very much for spending some time with us. If you have a question for Jamie for an upcoming episode, you can go to our Facebook page, Straight Talk Solarcast. Send us a message through there. If you want to check out a library of our past episodes that's searchable, go to solarharmonics.com, click on the podcast link at the top of the page. And finally, if you want to give us 5 stars wherever you listen to this podcast, Spotify, YouTube, Apple, wherever, that would be greatly appreciated. Until next time, everyone. See you.
That's all for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Straight Talk Solarcast with solar expert Jamie Duran. Join us each week for more answers to your solar questions. Speaking of questions, got some? Email us at solarcast@solarharmonics.com and we'll be sure to give you an answer in an upcoming episode. This episode of Straight Talk Solarcast is brought to you by Solar Harmonics, the leading solar energy developer in Northern California, who invite you to own your energy. Visit them on the web at www.solarharmonics.com.